Over the past few days, I decided to take a detox from Twitter and remove myself from the grid. While I sat in my personal sensory deprivation chamber, I began to meditate on the political landscape. I truly believe that the political divisions of the past no longer apply in the current year. Labels like left and right, liberal and conservative no longer apply in any relative form. The real divide, as I see it in 2018, is between those who are for Isaac and Alisha getting married and those who are against it. Even 2 years ago, frankly speaking, I don't think this dichotomy would have been on anyone's radar, let alone be the central point on which our culture seems to be pivoting on. Of course, those against these two getting married will have their objections and may often appeal to what we all know by now as fake news to stifle support for such a union. But I believe that there are enough people waking up to the fact that a union between Isaac and Alisha can be a really great thing. It's only been a year and a half since Isaac and Alisha started dating, and I doubt anyone could have imagined we'd be at this point. Anyway, many blessings to you two and best wishes for the future.
Recently, the internet has been abuzz with rumors about Isaac making plans to propose to Alisha, and while Huffington Post and Polygon and others are already declaring this fake news, I, for one, am not so sure. When I look at a situation like this, I usually take a step back and ask myself, what do the two parties have to gain? For Isaac, it's pretty obvious. He'll be marrying someone who's smart, funny, and beautiful. For Alisha, she's going to get a guy who will love her through thick and thin for the rest of her life. This all seems pretty cut and dry. So what would the Huffington Post have to gain by lying about all this, by calling it fake news, you may ask? Well, since Isaac and Alisha are both two rational, intelligent, sane adults, they are both presumably likely to recognize the Huffington Post for the failing pile of garbage that it is. Perhaps it could be for the satisfaction of slinging mud at two people who don't buy into their particular brand of crazy. And while you might not think that the Huffington Post would be so petty as to try to ruin the lives of two ordinary people for absolutely no reason whatsoever, I, for one, don't think so highly of them. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at ML Christensen. You're always welcome to coming out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it.
More proof that Isaac has officially, he has created the new level for people.
Isaac wrote me an email to ask me a favor, and I'm a complete sucker for that kind of thing. This is Isaac and his girlfriend Alisha, both Milo fans, and while watching today's episode of The Milo Show, Isaac is proposing marriage to Alisha. Well, Alisha, honey, this one's for you. You better say yes, or it's my reputation on the line. Congratulations to Isaac and Alisha. I'm sure that she's going to... oh, look, what a lovely couple. She's beautiful. I'm sure that you are going to enthusiastically accept. I wish you a happy, successful partnership, much love, fantastic sex, and many children from your fecund limbs. Congratulations to you both, and I expect a full report in my inbox about that later. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for writing in, and God bless to both of you.
Wow.
Hi Alisha, I heard that Isaac's proposing to you, and if you accept, then I wish you a long and happy marriage with many individualistic and classically liberal children.
Wow.
God willing, none of them will be socialists. So good luck, and remember to stay woke.
Hi, my name is Owen Benjamin. I did not write this song, but I'm going to play it for you. It was written by a fellow I'm guessing who's sitting right next to you right now.
Isaac just proposed. Actually, the proposal's still going on. Watch. He wrote into a bunch of different YouTubers, news media YouTubers.
Remember the time we went dress shopping and I didn't roll my eyes? That's what love is. And remember the time where we watched that show where everyone was British? And I said, where were the jokes? And you said these are the jokes because British people have a dry sense of humor. And I said, oh, that's what love is. Remember the time your man-hating friend called me an asshole to my face? And I played it off like she was being sassy and cute, even though it was neither. And I pretended like I didn't hear it, so it didn't cause trouble for you and your friends. That's what love is. And remember when we gave the same friend a ride to the airport and we couldn't kiss hello, cause PDA reminds her how desperately lonely she is. That's what love is. Remember when we made out in front of her building while we were waiting for her out of spite? That's what love is too. And I never, yes, I would never, ever, ever, I said never, ever poison you. That's right, I said I'd never, ever, no, no, ever poison you. First. And remember the time we were making on your couch and it made a weird farty noise, and you know I noticed cause I made a what the face. And then you noticed my face and I kissed you anyway, even though I thought you farted while we were making out, because I didn't want you to feel self-conscious about it. And then we started laughing when I realized it was the couch. That's what love is. And remember the time that I asked your dad if I could marry you in the room where he keeps all his guns. That's what love is.
Brave.
And remember the way you made me feel so important, cause I'm with a special, smart, funny and kind, and a wonderful woman. That's what love is too. And no, I'd never, I said I'd never, never, ever, ever, never, never poison you. First. That's right, I never, I said I'd never, and I promise you I never poison you. First, a fair warning, if I find out you're plotting to poison me, all bets are off. He poisoned you second.
Isaac says, hi, Ben. Oh, I wonder if he used his real name. Isaac says, hi, Ben. I'm proposing to my girlfriend. Do you have any good advice for us?
So my advice is that you make sure, number one, make sure that your values align. I mean, I assume that if you're proposing, then your values align. Beyond that, I think that you should, I have many pieces of advice, so it's hard to boil this down.
Are you going to write a book on relationship advice?
At some point I might. I mean, I've been married almost 10 years, and I feel like my relationship with my wife is pretty spectacular.
And you recently were asked at one of your college campus speeches.
About dating, yeah.
About dating.
That's true.
And I think like what you had to say about values was good.
I have money advice, I have relationship advice. I would say you need to actually take time out with your spouse. Okay, she's your girlfriend now, but once you get married, you're going to be distracted with other things because people have a natural tendency to feel that once they're locked in, they don't have to do the work anymore. Well, you actually have to do work in your relationship. That's fun, right? Meaning like take some time with your spouse, go out and do something fun. And this takes me to money advice when it comes to young couples particularly. You can live like a rich person without actually being rich. The stuff that's going to make you poor is not going to the movies once a week. The stuff that's going to make you poor is buying a houseboat, right? It's going to be big purchases that bankrupt you. You can save up, but it's better, like, really, if you go to the movies once a week and go to ice cream once a week and eat at home the rest of the time, you're going to feel a lot wealthier than if you go to a restaurant 4 times a week and go bankrupt. Like, just, there are certain small things you can do that make you feel like you have a life, and I think that it's important to feel like that, particularly when you're young. Also, make sure that you are ready for the responsibility of having children before you have children. Now, I know that that's controversial in some religious circles just because some people are pro-birth control, some people are anti-birth control. I am not anti-birth control. I'll get in trouble with some of my more religious friends for saying that, but I'm not anti-birth control because I think that people should be responsible about how and when they have children. That said, obviously every child is a gift. So it's, but I think that, providing a stable home for your child is the best thing. Make sure that you've worked on yourself and yourselves as a couple before you have kids, because it's an additional burden, okay? It does change things. I mean, Alisha knows she has young kids also. I mean, it changes things radically once you have babies, right? Your relationship
everything becomes self-sacrificial.
Yes.
Like, if marriage already
the last
seems
time you looked at your husband was, right? I mean, like that
early this morning when I left and everyone was sleeping in my bed.
All right, exactly. Like that's,
and it was so cute.
But like the last time you actually looked into your husband's eyes was probably before your first child was born. I mean, that's sort of how it is once you get married, and it'll be like that for the next 25 years. So you better be on solid footing before you have the kid.
That's the end.
Wow.
Well
Isaac.
played, sir. Well played.
Congratulations, Isaac. You have set the new standard. Show them the ring, Mama.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful ring.